Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Tuesday, May 31st, and we are here to try to take the mystery out of your financial life. And we do that by answering financial questions. Now, before we get started, we are recording this the day before Mark is getting married, for real. I mean, how long have you guys been together, Mark? 7 years, 7 years. Finally, you have a baby. Yeah, you're ready. And he's like basically Mark's kid's a teenager. He's finally getting married. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you, I got a wedding report from, where is this from? Bankrate.com. I mean, these guys are hysterical at Bankrate. They have like the most newsworthy pegs in the universe. But anyway, here are some stats for you. Ready, Mark? 39 million U.S. adults feel or have felt pressure to spend more than they're comfortable to attend a celebratory event in 2022. Now, Mark, I want to thank you for not inviting me to your wedding because otherwise I might be one of these 39 million people. I'm still giving you a present. Okay, while the number of weddings is supposed to increase this year, fewer people report attending or planning to attend a celebratory event this year as compared to last year. And the question is, could inflation be the cause? Okay. 158 million adults will attend at least one wedding celebration this year. Now I know I'm not attending, but I think there's going to end up being a dinner. So we're going to take you out for dinner anyway, but I have a wedding. Let me think about this. I have two weddings already and maybe a third. This is the general, I think pretty close, like 67% of Gen Zers, 64% of millennials, 60% of boomers, like everyone's going to go to some sort of celebration. But it looks to me like the biggies, of course, are birthday parties, 51%, weddings, graduations, religious ceremony, baby shower, which is the worst thing ever. Baby shower is the worst. Anniversary party, close second. Bridal shower. Actually, let me just revise that. A bridal shower is 10 times worse than a baby shower. People have retirement parties. I was invited to one. Mark, I'm not going. And the most ridiculous parties ever, bachelor and bachelorette parties. Thank you very much. I hope you have a good wedding. I am such a buzzkill, aren't I? All right, let's keep everything moving here. I promise I will not drop. Last week, I dropped a cup of coffee while I was recording the show, and I listened to it, Mark, and I heard that moment where it did clunk over. You tried to edit it out, but I heard it. I didn't say anything. I just went like a little bit of that. Okay. Anyway, if you've got a financial question, give us a holler. Go to the website, jillonmoney.com, and click the contact us button. That's what Michelle did. Michelle is on the line from New Jersey. What's going on? How can we help you out?
Okay. So my husband is forced to retire at the age of 55. Since he is forced to retire at 55, we are beginning to talk about possibly leaving New Jersey once he retires. I am 48 years old. He is 48 years old. And would you like me to go right into what?
Yeah. So first of all, do you have kids?
Yes, we have 4 children.
Oh boy. Okay. How old are they?
Okay. I have a 17-year-old. I have a 16-year-old. And then I have 13-year-old twins.
Oh my God. You're killing us with the college thing. Okay. So he's going to be forced to retire at 55. Will he have a pension when he retires?
Yes, approximately $6,500 a month.
And does that start immediately or does he have to wait to start the clock on that?
That starts immediately. And the way that it looks right now, he will have health insurance as well covered.
For him and for you guys? Just
Yes.
both? Okay, got it. Okay, plus health insurance. Will he be entitled to Social Security in addition to his pension?
No, he will not.
How much does he earn right now?
Currently, he is earning about $120,000.
Mm-hmm. And what about you? Are you working out of the home? What are you doing?
Yes, I do. Currently, I am in a private practice and I make about $60,000 a year.
How's your cash flow on the 60 plus the 120, the 180? How you guys doing? You feel like you're doing okay?
I do. I would say about a month for retirement since listening to you. Thank you so much. I've really improved my structure and how I budget my money. So currently in retirement in a 457, my husband has approximately $500,000 in
Give me that zero back. Thank you.
yes.
$500,000. Okay.
In a traditional 457, he has approximately $50,000 in a Roth. For me, I have 150,000 in a traditional. I have about 16,000 in a SEP, and I have 20,000 in a Roth.
So those are your retirement assets. Do you have non-retirement assets as well?
All we have is 32,000 in an emergency fund, and that is all we have.
Okay, that's okay. Do you guys own your home?
Yes, we we're older, we're 48, our house is paid off, and that is worth approximately $600,000, I would say.
What's the game plan when he retires at 55? Would he work in something else, in some other job? What do you think?
That is possible. I'm sure he will do something part-time.
Okay. Okay. And what about you? Do you think you would continue working, making your 60?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. How long do you think you'll work?
Oh my goodness. I would say till I'm about 60.
By the time you guys are both 55, then you work until you're 60. So we got 5 more years then. And then what do you think is the need in terms of your spending, like your income needs? Like right now, how much are you putting away into retirement?
Each month we are putting about 3,000 a month into retirement.
And are you putting any money away for college or anything? Or are you just going to pay that out of cash flow? What's the game plan on that?
My plan is cash flow. I live in southern New Jersey, and I had to pick a lot of blueberries and pack a lot of blueberries to get myself through college. So I'm sorry, if you want to go to college, if there's a will, there's a way, we will help you. But, we did things my husband and I had to do things on our own. We'll, of course, help our children, but of course they have to show that they are putting in the effort as well. So
I love that. Okay. So if you're saving $3,000 a month, and you've got your home is already paid off, do you have an idea of what your expenses are?
Our expenses monthly are about $7,000.
So, it's pretty amazing because if you look at the pension that he'll receive, you said $6,500 a month. I know that's pre-tax. Does it have a cost of living adjustment associated with that pension, or is it a flat pension amount?
It's a flat pension amount.
But obviously, from 55 to 60, you guys are golden because he gets the pension. You're continuing to work. You're fine. Everything you're paying for everything. That's cool. Not a problem. So from age 60 so let me just look at this. So 60 until your full retirement age, since he doesn't get Social Security, your full retirement age is 67?
Yes.
Okay. What's the amount that you would receive in Social Security at age 67?
About $2,500.
So then your Social Security plus his pension is, it kind of gets you there, right? About-ish, and you do have this other money that's saved. I think it's from 60 to 67 is what I'm concerned about. Not concerned, that's a period of time where we know you have a gap. We have a gap between what you need in terms of your expenses, your real after-tax expenses of $7,000 a month, and what's coming in, which is his pension, which is a pre-tax $6,500 a month. So here's my question to you. What do you think from 60 to 67? Do you think you guys are both basically done completely and you want to be done? Because we can figure this out. I think you can do it. I just want to make sure we're using the right presumptions.
Yes, I would like to be finished.
Okay. You say the house is paid off. Is the game plan that once the twins are done with school, you sell and you go someplace else? Or what do you think the game plan is?
Yes, thinking about a state with lower taxes.
Like a Florida?
Florida, Tennessee.
Tennessee. What's in Tennessee?
Supposedly, the lakes are absolutely beautiful there. The mountains are beautiful.
Mark, did I just piss off everybody in Tennessee?
Yeah, but she says supposedly. I suggest a visit or two.
I love it. So let's just, have you done any of this like fantasy land stuff? Like, well, if I were to move to Tennessee and move into Dolly Parton's old house, what it would cost you? In other words, you think you could downsize and put a couple $100,000 away in today's dollars?
Absolutely.
Then you're golden. You're golden. Right, Mark? Is that right? Because essentially, even if they just said, let's do it in today. We sell it for 600, we buy 400, we have 200 liquid to get us through 60 to 67, which is, I'm really only funding a few thousand, like let's call it 30 or 40 grand a year. And I can do that for 7 years. There is one thing I'd like to just wonder about, and that is, Mark, should they keep putting as much money away into retirement or should they maybe, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking building up some of your liquid assets. Meaning your non-retirement assets. I love the Roth. I love the pre-tax. I love all that. But I think just because we have a nice amount of time here, in the next dozen years, instead of say $3,000 a month in retirement, maybe it would be $2,000, and we would take that $12,000 a year and start creating a plain old boring brokerage account. The reason I would like that is that I don't want you to be under the gun to have to sell this house because, I don't know, weird things happen. Like I have this feeling that maybe you'll come to me someday and you'll say, those kids, they were so great. They put themselves through college. They're all settling within 10 miles of where I am, and I'm not moving anywhere because I want to be near them. And if you want to have that flexibility, you're going to have to save some money outside of retirement accounts. And I think that that's fine. I mean, you can totally do that. In your husband's plan, in his 457, is there any matching or contribution from the employer?
No.
And yours, is there?
No.
Okay. So in this case, I think it would be well worth your tax hit to really say, hey, you know what? I'm going to have a little extra money around because it'll give you some more flexibility. I just don't want you to be in this moment where it's like from 60 to 67, you hit a magic age and you're like, oh my God, we have to move. Otherwise this won't work. I don't love the have tos. I'd like, if you want to, great. But I think that if we have this as your working game plan and you got a little extra money on hand to do this, great. Are you self-employed? Because you do have you're a SEP?
Yes, I am.
If you wanted to work a little bit more or reduce your hours from, 55 to 60, you keep working, but like 60 to 65, you feel like, okay, or 60 to 60. Like if you needed to do a little more work, could you turn it on and off at a cadence that would work for you?
Absolutely, I could do that.
So then I think you're great. You're in great shape. Fantastic.
How much would you recommend us having in cash?
When I look at if you look at your expenses of $7,000 a month, you can say to yourself, well, 6 months of those expenses is what I have to have the base amount, 6 months. So 6 times 7, you got that. You're a little bit underfunded in your emergency fund. I'd say I'd like to have you have maybe 50 grand in the emergency reserve fund. That would be good for me. And that means that maybe when we start pulling back on your retirement contributions, that you start with pulling some money back and just beefing up the emergency reserve fund to 50. And then once you get to 50, then we can start with a brokerage account.
Okay. Where should we back off with the retirement? His 457 or my SEP?
Where's the 457 account held?
They just switched companies. It was held with Prudential, and I do not know the name of the new company.
I'm going to say, like something that sucks not as much as Prudential, or something that maybe sucks as much. Where's your SEP held?
Fidelity.
Okay, pull back on what his and use yours, because you're going to have better and cheaper options. I have just sealed the deal that I will never get insurance companies to advertise on this show. Speaking of, do you have some life insurance?
Yes, we do. We have term.
Great. And estate documents are done?
That is all set.
Well, listen, it has been a delight, Michelle. Is there anything else we can do for you?
No, thank you very much.
Well, listen, if you are out there and you're thinking, you know what, we got a game plan. We want to make sure we're cool with it. We want to get another set of eyes on the situation. Why don't you give us a holler? All you need to do is go to our website. It's jillonmoney.com, jillonmoney.com. Click the contact us button, and then a form will pop up and it will say, tell us what your question is. If you don't want to come on the air with us, give us lots of detail. If you do want to come on the air, we don't need quite as much detail, but we want to make sure you check that box. And that way, Mark will be able to do everything else from there. Okay, so let us know if you want to come on the air. While you're on the website, sign up for the free weekly newsletter and check out all the other great content that is on the site, which is really refreshed constantly, because I'm such a pain in the ass. Like, I'll say to Mark, like, you can post this tomorrow if you want or whenever. And then you always do it immediately because you're crazy, Mark. So anyway, think about doing something nice for someone else today. I always like to tell you that. We've been talking about this since the pandemic. I was just thinking about it today because today is would have been my father's 85th birthday. And I totally miss him. And, if someone just had said to me like, oh, I know it's your father's birthday. I hope you're doing okay. That would make me feel so good today because I feel a little sad. Mark, was he ever on the show? Did we have him on the radio show early on? Yeah, I thought so. We might just have to maybe at some point throw his voice back on. It's a little bit weird to hear your father's voice, almost 10 years after he's died. But that said, these are the times we live in. We have recordings like that. So anyway, so do something nice for someone else today. Grit, growth, grace. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.